Namaskar everybody. So have you experienced while doing Surya Namaskar or any other yoga poses, have you experienced that you cannot touch your toes or you cannot bend as much as you want? You feel that your hamstrings, which are the muscle at the back of your thigh, are so tight that you cannot even touch your toes without arching your back like this. So a lot of people experience this issue that to touch their toes, they have to arch their back. So today I'll be showing you 5 tips or 5 stretches to improve your hamstring flexibility, and that will help with a lot of other poses going down the lane. So the first concept which I want to explain is of pelvic tilting. So for that I'm going to lie down, and as you can see my stomach is nice and flat, while here I'm overarching my back. So you can see my hand go in and come out. So I'm overarching my back in this position, which is called anterior pelvic tilting. So this is my pelvis and it is tilting anteriorly or forward. It's tilting forward. Now what I have to do in this position is bring my hips up and roll them in. So roll them in. So that is posterior tilting or backward tilting. And my back arch flattens. So these are the two tilts. And then there is the neutral position of the spine where there is no posterior tilting or no anterior tilting. So a neutral spine is very important first of all. Okay, so in this position, this is the first thing you have to keep in mind and train your body to learn the tilting and then the neutral spine. Okay, so this is the first very important concept. Now we'll start with this stretch for hamstring. You can either use a belt like this, or if you have a belt you use at home for your waist, you can use that, or you can use a long towel. You can unfold a towel or a blanket, and then you can make kind of something like this which you can use it. So I'll show all the different techniques and things which you can use, but first I'll show it with a belt. So I go to my neutral pelvis position. I'm not overarching or over flattening my back. My spine is nice and neutral. Now I will use this belt and bring it at the ball of the toes. So this area here is the ball of the toes. And see how much my toes are spreading here. So that is very important while doing all these stretches. So I bring the belt at the ball of my toes and I straighten my leg up exactly 90 degrees. And I spread my toes. Make sure you're not doing this with your ankle. You're not pointing your toe up. Make sure it is nice and neutral. Now the other leg straightens out. Some people might feel that the knee starts to bend at this position. So you want to stop your knees from bending and you want to straighten it and you want to push into the belt and straighten the other leg as well. So both legs are nice and straight and you'll feel a stretch right through the back of your thigh. Okay, again I'll repeat. Both legs are nice and flat. Bring your belt at the ball of your toes. Spread your toes and bring it straight up to 90 degrees. You can use a mirror or your phone's camera to see whether you are straightening it at a 90-degree angle or not. Keeping the knee nice and straight straighten the other foot. There we go. So now here you want to maintain a neutral arch. My belly is nice and relaxed. My chest is nice and open. And I'm pushing this leg straight, pushing my knee with the straight leg down and pushing this knee straight as well and spreading my toes. So this is the first hamstring stretch which I wanted to show you. Now this can also be done with the use of, as I mentioned, a towel or a blanket. You can use a blanket, whatever feels more comfortable and whatever is available at home during this time. The second stretch which I want to show is called Dandasana. It means sitting straight with your legs straight. So again, here you want to incorporate the pelvic tilt. So you don't want your pelvis to be arching back or arching too much forward. So you want to keep a nice neutral spine, nice neutral curve in your back. Okay. Then in this position, you can either use your hands beside your body, push and open your chest, at the same time spreading your toes, keeping the chest nice and open. Some people might start feeling a stretch right away. And some people might not be able to sit nice and tall with feet straight out. So for them, what we can do is, you can use a blanket or a towel, or if you're a yoga person, you might have some yoga blocks at home. You can use those blocks as well. And just elevate your hips and sit on a higher level. And then work on your nice long spine. Then you can bring your arms besides, spreading the toes. And then you can feel nice stretch behind your hamstrings. Here as well, if you're still not feeling a stretch, you can use a belt, a blanket, or a towel, and then you can hold the strap, towel or your blanket and try opening up your chest and bringing your chest forward rather than overarching to go down. The idea is not to reach down as much as we can. The idea is to go forward. Take your body forward with your belly sucked in. That will give a very nice stretch to your hamstring. Okay, now let's show you two more stretches. So the third stretch is an asana called Adho Mukha Shwanasana. Shwan is a dog, and you might have seen dogs stretch out. So this asana or this pose is inspired from a dog. That's why Shwan asana. And Adho Mukha means, Adho means downwards and Mukh is face. Because the face is downwards, that's why the name of the pose is Adho Mukha Shwanasana. So first I'll show this asana in two directions, from the side and then from the back. So first of all, make sure your fingers are spreading nice and wide. Make sure the palms are stacked right above the shoulder. And your hands should be shoulder width apart. Not too wide, not too narrow. Shoulder distance apart. That is very important. Okay. So my hands are shoulder distance apart. This is actually a 4-leg stance or a 4-point stance. From here, I'm going to push through the ball of my feet, spreading my toes as you can see here. I'm going to push through my ball of my feet and bring the hip up towards the ceiling. I'm going to keep my knees bent and try to keep my hip up as much as I can. And then straighten my legs. And then straighten my legs as much as I can. Okay. So the idea here is to stretch the hamstring by first lengthening from your hips. So you lengthen from your hips up, and then you stretch your hamstring. Keep your heel away and up from the mat. Don't keep them down. Up and up and up and up, and stretch your hamstring. Now I will show it from the back so that you can see the action of my legs. You see my feet? They are hip distance apart. My hands are shoulder distance apart. I'm pushing, pushing, pushing and reaching up with my hip. I'm spreading my toes. I'm on the ball of my feet. Very good. And now the last stretch for your hamstrings. So everybody might have a chair at home. Very accessible and very useful. But you want to make sure your chair is nice and sturdy. You don't want to fall while doing this hamstring stretch. So you want to make sure the chair is steady. You can stay near a wall for support. Okay. And then standing in Tadasana. Again, bringing your attention to your spine, not overarching or not crooked. Make sure you're nice and tall. Then you can simply bring one foot up on the chair, spreading your toes. Make sure your other leg is not bent. You want to straighten that knee out. You want to make sure your hips are level. Make sure this is not happening or this is not happening. The hips are nice and level. Spread your toes as much as you can. My ankle is at 90 degree and leveled. And then you can bring your arms up and try to reach the chair back as much as you can. If you cannot reach the chair back, you can use a belt. And again, this will give a nice stretch to the back of your thigh, that hamstring muscle. And some people might even experience a stretch in the calf. Staying near to the wall helps a lot with balance, especially if you have poor balance or if you're working on your balance. So these were some stretches to help improve eventually your Uttanasana or Padhastasana. These will help you improve your Surya Namaskar cycle, and let me know how you feel about these stretches. Try them out and give me your reviews. Thank you so much.